Morning, everyone. Welcome to Circle J Dairy Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Jessica and, of course, our adorable adopted calves, Melody and Sunny. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. More than 40,000 teachers and 1 million students every year join the fund for free, thanks to our generous supporters like the Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. The Adopt a Cow and Discover Dairy programs are a free online resource that cover Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while using dairy concepts to teach those lessons. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to discoverdairy.com to access all of those resources. We would also love for you to join the fun next year in the Adopt a Cow program. So if you're interested in joining again, or you're new to the program and want to join the fun, registration and re-enrollment open on May 1st. So in less than 1 week from today, you can go to discoverdairy.com/adopt, ADOPT, and there you can either log in and click re-enroll, or if you're new, you go ahead and log in, create an account, and get started. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you will see that chat feature is enabled. Please feel free to keep using that chat feature to comment and ask questions all throughout our time together with Farmer Jessica. We are excited to hear your questions, and I know Farmer Jessica is excited to answer them. We do just ask that you keep those questions and comments related to the chat and school appropriate. Now, before we jump over to Farmer Jessica, let's see who is joining us today. So from the very beginning, we had some homeschool groups from Southside, Alabama. So hello and welcome all. We have some folks from Birmingham, got another homeschool group from Huntsville. We've got Mill Creek Elementary in Madison, Alabama. Hello, elementary school. We're excited to have you. We've got some folks from Hoover, Alabama, Lighthouse Baptist Academy, third graders in Theodore, Alabama. Hello, all. Thank you so much for coming. We have, let's see, some Mrs. Merriweather from St. Ignatius School. Excited to have you all. Thank you so much for joining. And let's see, scrolling down a little bit further, Lakeview Elementary, Miss Tosney's fourth grade class. So hello and welcome. And then let's see, one or two more. We've got Calera Elementary School, second graders in special education. Hello. And Mrs. Smith's class in Gadsden Elementary or Gadsden, Alabama. So hello and welcome all. I know there were many more in between there that said they were joining us today. Thank you all for coming on board. And I hope you're excited to meet Farmer Jessica and your calves, because I know I am too. So without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Jessica. Hey, Farmer Jessica, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. We're
Oh,
really
we are.
excited to be
Yeah.
here and talk more about our dairy and everything that's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are so excited to be with you today. And I can already see how beautiful it is behind you. And it looks like it is warm and gorgeous there in Alabama. So, Farmer Jessica, we would love to hear a little bit about you, your farm, and what does your typical day look like? So, I'll let you go ahead and give us an introduction on your farm.
Okay, so we started this dairy back in January of 2023. So we've been in operation for about a year and everything has been going well. Every day is different. No day is the same. We're milking about 56 cows every day, twice a day. So that's a big job all in
Yeah.
itself, but it's very fun. We have lots of helpers, and so that makes it go a little bit smoother. But we also not only milk the cows, but we also pasteurize and bottle our milk and sell it to grocery stores and also just individuals here at our farm store. So we have a farm store and a dairy operation all in one. Plus, we make weekly delivery routes to several different locations every single week. So that's always a lot of fun. And it's also hard work, but it's rewarding too, all in itself.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, you guys have only been in business for a little over a year. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, a little bit over a year. And it all kind of just picked up, and our business has just really grown, uh, which has been such a blessing for us. We didn't really know how it would go, but overall, it's just been a really good experience. And hopefully, as the years go on, we can continue to grow and hopefully be successful in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's been your favorite part of starting this adventure with your family? Who's all involved with your family to make all this happen?
Well, it's a family operation, so everyone that works here is family. So it's me, my mom and dad, and then my husband. And also my sister-in-law helps a lot. She's actually my videographer for today. And my two brothers also help. My grandparents, they help a lot with the bottling process. And just everybody that's involved, cousins, aunts and uncles. So we have a lot of helpers. And just my favorite part would just be working with them day in and day out. That's what really makes it fun for sure. And
Right.
you're always together, and we luckily get along pretty well, so that helps too. But overall, it's just been a really, really fun experience, and hopefully it'll continue to be.
That's awesome. Now, Farmer Jessica, I know we've shared some photos with everybody in the program this year. Kind of, I'm guessing some of those first couple of photos of you guys bottling milk and processing things. Can you just talk about what that looks like? I'm actually going to share a photo for everybody while you're talking about this. But can you talk
Yeah.
about what that milk process is like for you guys on the farm? What are the steps to process that milk?
Okay, so the steps, it's kind of lengthy, but yeah, that picture was from one of our very first times bottling milk. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but really, after you milk the cows, the milk is then put into a bulk tank, and that's what keeps your milk really, really cold, 38 degrees or colder. And then it is pumped over into our pasteurizer, which a pasteurizer is a machine that heats up your milk to 145 degrees. And it
Okay,
has to stay at that temp for at least 30 minutes in order to kill any type of potential bad bacteria that might be in the milk. Um,
gotcha.
Odds are there isn't anything bad in it, but it's just a precaution, and it's a
Sure.
very important precaution. And so after that is done, uh, we then let it cool back down. So it gets up to 145 degrees and it cools all the way back down to at least 38 degrees. And
Hmm.
then we're able to pump it through the pipes and bottle it in our bottler. So we have a little pedal that we push, and it pushes the bottle up into the little filler, and it shoots the milk down into the bottle, and it caps it, and then it's ready to go into the coolers. And then that's a picture of our refrigerated trailer. And so we load the milk into milk crates and stack them up in there, and then haul it off to the grocery stores.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
awesome.
a little bit of a process, but over time we've kind of figured out what works and what doesn't work, and
Right.
have kind of dialed in our routine and everything. So that has helped a lot,
That is
but a lot of trial
amazing.
and error.
Right, right. No, absolutely. So, a lot of learning this year. Now, do you only bottle white milk or do you bottle other types of milk or other products or, at all?
Well, we started out just bottling our white milk, whole milk, but then I want to say it was back in the fall of last year. We did our very first batch of chocolate milk. And so everybody was so excited because we had lots of people asking, when are you going to do chocolate milk? And we just didn't have quite enough of our white milk to be able to do that. But we got more cows, and that helped a lot with our quantity. And so
Gotcha.
we incorporated chocolate milk. And here lately, we've been able to make it weekly and also deliver to a few local grocery stores here that are really close to us. And so that has made a lot of people happy. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it's really good. It tastes great. It has a lot of sugar, but if you drink it sparingly, it's okay.
Right.
But it's really good. So
I wish I lived closer, Farmer Jessica, so I could try
I
all your
know.
delicious milk.
Yes, it's great.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I know that value added piece for a lot of farms isn't, most farms just focus on taking care of their cows, but there are some farms like yours that adventure into that second part where we get to actually produce the product and get it right on our shelves. What's that turnaround time? I know you mentioned that, the milk is bottled and right away, pretty much right after milking, but how long then until it gets to the shelves that someone can buy your milk?
Yeah, so by the time the cow is milked, bottled, loaded onto the trailer, usually it's less than a week for sure, just maybe 2 or 3 days. So that really helps with the longevity of the milk and the shelf life. So it
Wow.
has like at least a 3 to 4 week expiration date. So by the time you buy it at the grocery store, you still have a couple, 2, 3 weeks before it might go out of date. So
Right.
that really helps too, versus a commercial operation maybe where it stays on a tanker truck for days and days. This is just a lot quicker, and so we have the ability to get it out to the stores a lot quicker.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. So, Farmer Jessica, we've loved learning about your farm and congratulate you all on a little over a year anniversary of starting your farm up and doing this adventure. But of course, some of our favorite parts of this program has been following our adorable calves. I know
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up some feed of them here in the background of them hanging out, and I'm gonna go ahead and give let you talk about them. So, give us an update on how they're doing. Are they, how big have they gotten? Where are they at right now? That kind of thing. So I'll
Mhm.
let you give us an update on our cute girls.
Okay. Well, that calf right there, that's Melody. She's sniffing the camera. And then Sunny is right there beside her. They are both doing so good. They're growing every single day. They both are about the same size, which is nice. They are just a couple, 2, 3 weeks apart in birth dates. But Sunny and Melody both are about, I would say, 275 pounds each. And so that's pretty big. And
Wow.
then they're probably about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet tall. Uh, and they are good eaters. You see them eating that feed right there. They love to eat. And they eat lots of sweet feed and they eat hay and then some grass when we turn them out onto pasture. And so that balanced diet right there is what I think is really helping them succeed in their growth.
Hmm.
And they're so sweet. They love to lick you and and all that.
Oh.
They love to be petted and they're just so sweet. They're getting ready to have their big girl ear tags in their ears once we give them their next round of vaccinations. And so that'll really make them look older and they'll be turned in with another group of girls that'll be soon, into our herd one of these days. So
Yeah.
they are doing really well, and they've
Oh.
enjoyed getting their photos taken every single month, and they're probably going to miss it, but we'll probably still take their pictures as they keep growing. So
They've gotten a little spoiled, maybe, right? They're used to the
yes,
paparazzi at this point. So.
I think they are. Yes, especially Sunny. She loves the camera.
Oh, I love that. They have been so much fun to follow this year. So remind us here just one more time while they're eating, which one is which, because I know they look a lot alike.
Yes. Okay, so Melody is the one on the left. She is
Okay,
the one with just the brown hair, and then
gotcha.
Sunny is right there on the right, and she has a little white spot in her head and
Awesome.
the little white spots on her body.
Yeah, so that's
So
a good telltale to know that Sunny is with us. If she's got those spots, she looks a little bit abnormal for a Jersey, right? Our Jersey is usually pretty dark. She just happens to have some cool spots.
yeah, usually they don't have a lot of spots, but occasionally you will get some that do. We have a mature milking cow that has spots similar to her, but her mother, Sunny's mother, does not have any spots. So it's kind of unique that she ended up having some white spots.
Oh, that's awesome. And so remind us one more time. So what are they chowing down on right now? They're chowing down on a grain pellet, or is that correct? Or can you correct me
Yes,
on what that
it's
is?
it's
Yeah.
like a grain pellet. It has like a sweet taste. It's sort of like molasses in it. So, but then as the older they get, they'll probably start eating what our larger milking cows eat, which is like a total mixed ration, and it's like packed full of nutrients, more nutrients than what they're already getting, but it just has a lot more, I don't know, balanced type
Mhm.
mix up for whenever they're producing milk. But for right now,
Right.
since they're not producing milk, they're okay with just eating the sweet feed for now.
Gotcha. So now we see their sweet feed, and we saw some hay in the corner there of the trough. Um, do they drink milk anymore, or are they off milk completely?
They do not drink any milk. They just drink water, and they seem to be happy with that. Usually, around 3 months of age, we wean them from the bottle and just transition them to eating feed, hay, and drinking water. And we incorporate that a little bit while they're still drinking a bottle, just to kind of get them prepared for it. And then once we remove the bottle, they don't ever miss it. So they do really well once we just take the bottle away completely.
Sure. And that's because their body and their digestive system is changing and they no longer
Yes.
need the milk. They now need those forages because they are herbivores. So they love all of that, all those delicious greens and grains. Look at them.
Yes,
Oh
that's
my
right.
goodness. They are so happy chowing down on their grains.
Hmm.
Goodness. So we had a question come in. They were wondering, does Sunny or Melody have any friends? Do you see them hanging out with each other most? We can see there's another one in the pen with them. Do you think they like each other?
Yes, I think they do. Now, the other little calf in there with them, her name is Poppy, and she
Oh,
was actually born just a couple weeks after the deadline for this program, so she didn't get in on it, but she was able to be friends with Sunny and Melody, and they love Poppy, and they all run around
oh.
and play together, and so they've really enjoyed having her as a buddy with them.
Aw, too cute. I love it. Now, we had a couple of friends just curious about their horns. We noticed that they're growing horns. We talked a little
Hmm.
bit about that some farms dehorn them or anything like that. Will you guys end up dehorning them, or are they going to grow their horns out?
Yes, we plan to dehorn them. We just have not gotten to it yet, but
Okay.
they are just now to the point where they're long enough to um, successfully dehorn them. So
Sure.
we definitely plan to do that probably within the next month because
Gotcha.
they're ready to have those taken care of. Just because it becomes a safety issue to
Hmm.
themselves and each other, and also their caretakers. So
Yeah.
we definitely plan to do that very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big one to make sure they don't hurt each other and don't hurt
Hmm.
you. They're very clearly very curious animals, and as they get bigger
Yes,
and when they get full grown, they can get very headstrong. So we want to make sure that when they are playing or when they're around you guys, that everyone's staying safe. So that makes sense.
that's right.
Um, so right now they look pretty darn curious and pretty happy and excited.
Mm.
Um, how do you know the opposite? Like what are some cues that you look for in a calf or a cow if they're not feeling well to be able to help them feel better?
Well, if one of them acts like she's not feeling well, typically they will maybe not eat or they won't drink. And so that's a good sign to kind of let us know that maybe something isn't right. And so at that point, we would call our veterinarian and she would come out and do an assessment on the calf or the cow and kind of determine maybe what's wrong and kind of pinpoint if she needs medicine or what the case is. But
Gotcha.
usually, if one of them doesn't feel well, we will immediately kind of call the veterinarian and get her to
Mhm.
come check just because we want to make sure all of our animals are healthy at all times if possible.
Sure, absolutely. So you guys will try and handle as much of it as possible on your own, but then of
Hmm.
course you've got that vet as the backup to make sure
Yes.
that you're taking care of anything that needs to be taken care of to keep them as happy and healthy as possible.
That's
Awesome.
right.
So, what are some other things you as a dairy farmer do to help make sure that these girls are happy and healthy, especially as they get older? Will they move to new housing, or what kind of food do they start eating later? What are some things that you do to care for them as they get older?
Yes. So as they get older, we would turn them into like a much bigger pasture, which they're getting ready to do now. We turn them out occasionally during the daytime, and then at nighttime we put them up in this little barn that you see now. But as they get bigger, we'll turn them out onto pasture at all times, and they will have plenty of grass. And then we'll feed them feed the like the total mixed ration, like I was talking about earlier. We'll
Hmm.
start giving them that just to kind of prepare them for when they do have a baby and start milking. And hang on just a second.
Hmm.
And so then we will just sort of incorporate that into their diet and make sure that they are just feeling good and have plenty of room to roam and all of that. So there's several different things like that that we would do to kind of make sure that they would thrive and continue to grow like they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Now you had mentioned going out on pasture. I actually have a photo here that we can share of all of them out on pasture. So let me just switch that real quick so everyone can see what that looks like. But that pasture definitely looks
Yes.
pretty enjoyable. So I'll show the picture I have, and then in the meantime, I'll also let you go ahead and shift your camera so we can maybe get a better look of the actual pasture behind you. So this pasture
Yes.
looks pretty luscious. Is that the one that's
Yeah.
behind you?
Yes, this is where the milking cows go. That's where that photo is taken as well. And they have plenty of green grass and it goes all the way back over that hill too. And so there's
Wow.
lots of room to roam and eat lots of luscious grass. And it's really
Oh,
starting to come out now. with it being warmer weather and all of that. So that's really helping with their diet and all of that. So it's
Yeah.
really good to have lots of room to roam and eat grass. So
Yeah.
they really enjoy it.
That's awesome. I'm gonna bring up our calf feed back up for us so we can have them in the background while we chat some more. Farmer Jessica. There we go. We had a question come in. They were curious, what does Sunny do all day on the farm? What are their activities that they get to do all day?
Well, they usually just run around and play and they sleep a lot. They like to nap and just like humans, really. And they love to play with Poppy and also Melanie because they're all three together. And they like to eat grass whenever we turn them out and just lay in the sunshine. A lot of times you'll see them just laying out in the pasture, just soaking in the sun. And they love to do that. But really, those are their main activities, I would say. And that keeps them pretty busy all throughout
Yeah,
the day.
that sounds like a pretty great life, Farmer Jessica. I don't know about you, but I think I could be a cow.
I know. They have it made pretty much.
Right? You do. Oh my goodness. We had a good question come in from Miss K. She was wondering, why are some cows the color of Sunny and Melody, this brown color, and some cows are black and white?
Yes. Okay, that's a good question. So these cows right here are called Jerseys, and the ones that are black and white are called Holsteins. So they're a totally different breed of cow, but they're all dairy cows. So there's
Gotcha.
several different breeds, but these right here are the Jerseys. So they're the little brown cows, and then the black and white ones are the Holsteins. They kind of, whenever you are, if you're familiar with Chick-fil-A, they have the black and white Holstein cows. So that's a good way to remember that.
Aha. Gotcha. So you have mostly of jerseys, but we've got those black and white ones. And it you said a different breed. So the same concept as like you've got your German Shepherds and your Chihuahuas as a dog. Like it's just a different breed. They're all dogs, but they're just
Hmm.
different breeds. Same thing.
That's right. Yes,
Gotcha. Okay.
exactly.
Very cool. Another question that came in, we were wondering from Miss Cutler, they were wondering how much milk does a grown cow produce on your farm?
So on our farm, it may vary from farm to farm, but just on ours, a lot of our cows are a little bit younger, and so they don't produce quite as much milk as an older cow might.
Sure.
But typically, we measure ours in pounds. So typically, one cow per day could give up to 60 to 70 pounds per day. So it's 8 pounds per gallon. So you could do
Wow.
the math on that. It's a good
Yeah.
bit of milk per day.
Yeah,
So
it's like
we're
7 to 8
milking,
gallons a day per
yes,
cow.
a day, just one cow. Yeah. And we do have a few of the Holstein black and white cows, and they tend to give a little bit more than the Jerseys. But the
Okay,
Jerseys also, the older they get, they will continue to give a lot of milk too. So
gotcha.
it just kind of varies. But a lot
Okay.
of times, the older cows will give more milk. And we do have a few of those, but most of them are younger. So that's a good thing. As we grow our business, our cows will continue to grow and keep giving us more and more milk.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's understandable that you have a lot of young stock because you're a relatively new farm compared to most dairy farms. I just think it's so neat that you guys, as a family said, hey, we want to go into this. We love animals. We love this idea. We want to be able to provide for our local community a fresh product. Let's start dairy farming. I
Yeah.
love that. And it makes it very real for anyone that might maybe considered being a dairy farmer someday. You guys did it. You did it. You started your farm and are successfully taking care of our adorable calves plus the rest of your herd, which is really neat.
Yes. It's been a roller coaster, but a really good one. And so every day is different. It's just it's a good life though.
Yeah,
We enjoy it, and we enjoy having people come to our farm. We've had a few of you guys come and visit us, and
yeah.
your teachers to come
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
visit and meet Sunny and Melanie, and that's just been really great too, to be able
Oh,
to share these animals with you guys.
yeah, absolutely. And I now do you I know we showed pictures of um of the bottling and packaging up and taking it to stores. Do you guys have a storefront at all on your farm, or is all of your milk sold in other stores?
Yes, we do have a storefront. It is connected to our dairy, and so
Oh,
the dairy part where we milk the cows is on the back half, and then on the front half we have a storefront, and then also our processing plant where we bottle our milk and pasteurize it is in kind of the middle area. So it's all
gotcha.
kind of combined into one place.
Very cool. So people could come and buy some milk and maybe take a peek and see that process and see the farm, which is really cool that you get
Yes.
to see it literally from start to finish at your farm,
That's
the whole
right.
thing.
Yes. Yes. That's
Awesome.
and we have viewing windows for people to watch the milking happen. And so that's been really cool. They really get to be able to figure out how the cows produce the milk. And
Yeah,
so it's a great teaching tool.
absolutely. Speaking of producing that milk, when will our adopted calves start producing milk?
Okay, so these calves will have to have a baby first. So by the time they turn around a year old, they will start having babies. And then once they have their baby, they will start producing milk, pretty much just like a human does. And
Hmm.
so, probably in around a year, year and a half, they will have a baby, and then she will be able, the mama Sunny or the mama Melody will be able to be milked in our milking herd. So, it won't be
Oh,
too long.
perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. So they'll join the milking herd, and then once they have their first calf, they have about one calf a year. Is that correct?
Yes, they do because they have to carry that calf for 9 months. So they will
Gotcha.
get pregnant and then they will have that baby in 9 months. And so they have
Gotcha.
one baby per year.
All right. So on average, then maybe cows live 5 to 7 years, 6 to 8 years. So they probably have 4 to 5 calves a year, unless they have twins, I guess, which is
Right. Yeah,
rare.
that's
But
true.
um,
Yeah,
so
it could
maybe.
happen.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
We had a good question. Oh, first of all, I just want to let you know, Miss Cutler and Miss Egan they just wanted to let you know that your farm is beautiful and they loved visiting. They said they came to visit and they got your milk and
Yes.
they loved it. So just
Yes,
wanted to let you
great.
know you've got some love on here from some folks, and I would
Thank
encourage you
you.
all to go and visit them as well and check it out and try their milk. Maybe grab some chocolate milk and milk for your
Hmm.
class to have everyone sample it. That'd be a cool idea.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. We had another question come in. This will be one of my last questions for you. Miss Grammer was wondering, what do cows do in the winter? Now, I realize you're in Alabama, so it doesn't get too cold there, but do these cows get cold when the temperatures drop, or what do you do to help keep them warm in the winter months?
Well, in the wintertime here in Alabama, it's, as you all know, it doesn't really get super duper cold, but it does sometimes get a little chilly, especially in the December, January months.
Hmm.
And so typically the cows, they have really good insulation. They're built for this kind of weather and they really do okay. If it gets really, really cold, we will get them up into a barn and kind of keep them together and maybe keep them warm. But overall, usually we just leave them where they are and they're comfortable, make sure that they're good. Cows typically prefer colder weather over hot summertime weather because when it gets 80, 90, 100 degrees here, they don't thrive as well. They don't give nearly as much milk, but in the wintertime, they really seem to do well and they give a lot more milk and they just seem more comfortable overall. But if
Yeah.
it ever gets really, really cold, like teens or zero, which is rare here, we would
Hmm.
probably put them up in a barn and keep them a little more comfortable. But overall,
Sure.
they prefer to just be outside.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know at least at our farms, so I'm in Pennsylvania, and I would
Hmm.
agree. I think our cows typically love it the most when it's like that 30, 40, 50 degrees. That's where they're most comfortable, which to me is that's so cold. Like that's
Yes.
cold. But they
Right.
definitely relax in that degree of weather. So very cool.
Uh-huh.
Farmer Jessica, we've had so much fun chatting with you today, getting to see our beautiful girls today, just checking in on them, seeing them in their pen, and getting to see
Hmm.
them eat today. So thank you so much for letting us adopt them and follow them and sharing their story with us. We've talked a lot about what you do as a farmer to care for them and love them, and it's been quite an adventure for you and your family. And I would love to just wrap up with one final question on what's your why? What was that ultimate reason why you guys started this? And then why do you continue it and drive forward to do this to continue farming?
Yeah, so basically we knew we wanted to do something here on our farm. I did specifically. And so we just decided to do the dairy. And since my grandfather was a dairy farmer, my dad was a dairy farmer with him.
Hmm.
He always had a love for it and that kind of passed on to me. And so once we started it up, we were like, wow, this is great. This is what we want to do. And
Hmm.
sure, every day is not always easy, but that's with any kind of job. And so you just have to keep pushing, keep going, and try to see the bigger picture and know that you're hopefully making a difference in your community by providing a good quality product for your consumers and
Yeah,
making new friendships and all of that all together just really means a lot. And being able to care for these animals and give them a good life really, really means a lot to us. And we hope to
yeah.
be able to do this for years and years to come and pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for starting this up again and getting this going with your farm, but then also just having that amazing passion to want to provide a product for your community. You couldn't have said it better. You mentioned, building those relationships. That is exactly what all of our farms do. They are part of the community you live in. They are doing what they're doing because they're feeding you and they love what they do. And so thank you, Farmer Jessica, for loving taking care of these cows, taking great care of the land around you, and of course, providing for your community. We love it. And anyone that's listening and watching, you should know now, you know a farmer. So if you ever have any questions about the dairy industry, or want to check it out and see it in real life, Farmer Jessica, they're welcome to you
Oh,
and to visit
yes.
it, and of course, come and get some of their products and give it a try. And I'm sure over the years, Jessica, I'm sure you guys will continue to grow and just create new things and as you said, create new friendships and relationships. Thank you so much for
Yes. Thank y'all so
everything you've done.
much.
Yeah. Anything else
Yes.
you want to share with us before we turn off today?
I would just invite all of you to come to our dairy. We're open every Wednesday and Saturday from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So you're
Okay.
welcome to come to our farm and watch the milking. And so the milking usually starts up around 3:30 every afternoon, but Wednesday and Saturday for sure, you're welcome to come and watch and try some milk. And you might even get to meet some of the calves.
Ooh, oh man. All right.
Hmm.
Wednesdays and Saturdays. Man, I really wish I lived closer. I would love to come see it, Farmer
I know we'd
Jessica.
love you to come.
But thank you so much for doing this. And you heard her. That's an open invite. Come check it out. They'd love to have you. And thank you all for joining this program, for choosing to include agriculture in your classrooms and recognizing it's important to know where your food comes from. So thank you for being part of this program. Don't forget to sign up for next year. Registration opens in less than a week, May 1st, and that will get you signed up for the next school year. So we're excited to have you all. And one more time, Farmer Jessica, thank you so much. It was great having you today.
Thank you.
All righty.